position. Rise up, make that decision. God will provide all your needs. He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Welcome to another segment of the Drexwell Seymour Show. Now, I know I did about 1 or 2 shows on this topic before, but I think it's important for me to talk about this again. I was invited recently to be a guest speaker at Louise Thomas High School here on the island of Providenciales, in the Turks and Caicos. And so during my speech, I encourage the students to, say some positive things to themselves, like they are somebody, nobody's nobody is better than them. And I ask them if they feel that they are a failure. And quite a few students were bold enough to raise their hand. They say yes. And I say, why do you feel like you are a failure? I say, you're not a failure. And one of the students, he said, he feels like a failure because that's how people treat him. People treat him like he's a failure. People say he's a failure. And this is what I want to dwell on today. I just don't know if we recognize what we're doing with the words that come out of our mouth. We really need to stop being so negative, especially with young children, because it's during this period of their life when they probably have to believe anything that's been told to them. Some of them are very gullible, and if they are not being told anything different in the home, when they go out into schools, when they go into the community, when people are saying things to them, sometimes they believe what people say to them. And here's this young guy who said that he believes that he's a failure. And he believes he's a failure because of what people say to him. Nobody is a failure. Even if they experience failure in their lives, they're not failures. We all have experienced some sort of failure in our lives. That doesn't mean that we are a failure. We all have experienced some sort of setbacks in our lives. But one of the things to turn our lives around is what we speak into the lives of people, what we speak. And that's why the word of the Lord said the power of life and death is in the tongue. And we are killing people with our words. People haven't even, these are kids. They haven't even started to live their life as yet. They don't even know who they are as yet. But we're calling them dumb. We're calling them stupid. We're calling them failure. We're calling them a mistake. We didn't even check for them. We're comparing them to other people. And we're saying, oh, you should be like so-and-so. And these people are going to grow up thinking what they were told. You know my story. That's how I was. For many years, I grew up thinking I was nobody. I grew up thinking I was insignificant because I was made to feel that way. All in my mind, I heard the words. And it took me many, many years to get over it. And maybe just about, 5 years. I was still in my 40s when I got over that stigma, because all my life I believed what people said about me. And this is just to show you how powerful words can have on people. Even if you're thinking something about somebody, don't let it come out of your mouth. And the strange thing about some human beings, not everybody is like that, is that one person may hear you talking about somebody else, right? They don't know you. But because they heard Tom say something about you, then John is going to turn around and say the same thing Then Harry's going to turn around and say the same thing. Then everybody's going to turn around and the same thing until you believe what they say is true. And as a result, that individual is gradually being defeated in his life because of the words that were spoken over him. That individual don't have to be that way. If we could start speaking positive things into people's lives, do you know what difference it will be? Do you know why so many things are happening in this world? Do you know why people are committing some of these crimes? Do you know why? It's because of the words that we spoke. I remember growing up, I used to hear people talk about putting mouth on people. I never understood what that meant. And people literally put mouth on people by saying so many negative things. Oh, that child is not going to amount to anything. You're just like your no good father or your no good mother. And it just developed into a curse. And it became a generation curse, passing from one generation to the next generation. And we wonder sometimes why people behave the way they behave. We wonder sometimes why people cannot control how they behave. And as simple as it may seem, it's very hard. It is because because negative words have been spoken over their lives, and it became a part of their lives, and it's passed on from generation to generation. And some of them don't even recognize that what they're going through is because of the words that have spoken over their lives. When I was at that Long Bay high school, or the Louise Collin Thomas High School, I admonished the teachers to be careful how they deal with the students. We have to be careful. I know the teacher's role is to teach, but there's a part of some empathy, that we need to deal with these students. Anyone that come across our lives. And the thing about it, most people sometimes remember only the negative things in life, especially if they are receiving more negative than positive. And they only remember most times the negative things. Just like us as human beings, a lot of times we just spread negative things about people. Very rarely do we celebrate the successes of people, or we speak good things about people. But we could turn it around by speaking life into a dead situation. Speaking life being positive over people's lives. Speaking positive things over people's lives could make such a difference. People need to be encouraged. People need to be inspired. People need to be influenced. So the energy that we are using, spreading negativity over people's lives and cursing people, why don't we reverse that by being positive in people's lives? Too many people are in this world and making so many mistakes because of the negativity in their lives. If you notice, there's a trend in some family members, and that's because of the curses that took place in their lives. On the other hand, you will see some positive things about some people. That's because the positivity that was passed onto their lives. We need to stop being so negative about people. We need to stop putting a death sentence on people. We need to start lifting people up. Things can turn around simply by the very words we speak. As young as my kids are, The younger kids are young. The last three are young, 11 and 13. And so the twins, sometimes they fight with each other. And I'm very, very sensitive when it comes to the fight. I mean, kids will fight, but sometimes they call each other names. And I have to correct them because people react to people differently, even though they're brothers. If you keep saying you're dumb, you keep saying you're stupid, and nobody else is saying anything else, you might think you're dumb. You might think you're stupid. You may end up acting like you're dumb. You end up acting like you're stupid. And that's why I try to speak positive things into my kids' life, into other people's life. Even though sometimes I get upset, I try to make a difference in people's lives. Because sometimes, most times, when we really put those negative words out there in the environment, it's a challenge to take it back. Of course, we could overcome it. But a lot of times, we don't even realize, we're not even conscious of the fact what we're saying, because it becomes so much a part of us that we just, whatever comes on our mind, we just say it out loud and we just say something negative. Why do we find it so hard to say something good about people? Why? Why do we have to be so negative? We are responsible for some of the things that have gone wrong in society because we have labeled individuals, we have put those words on people's lives. Let us be more responsible by being positive and stop being negative. And for those of you who are watching the show who feels that you are what people say you are in a negative way, you're not. You are somebody. That's what I told the students at the high school. You are somebody. And even if people tell you some negative things, I want you every morning you get up, you just tell yourself, I am somebody. You tell yourself that I am great. For great is he that is in me than he is in the world. You tell yourself that nobody is better than you. Speak things into, even if you're the only one telling yourself that, speak positive things into your lives. The more you speak it and you believe it, you can overcome the negative words that came into your life. Don't accept any negativity. Don't accept it. Even if you feel the way they say you are, don't accept it. It's the enemy trying to play tricks on you, making you to feel that you are what people say you are. As I said in one of my previous videos, God is a great God. Everything from God is great. Everything God does is great. Who created you? You came from God. Yes, some of us came into this world in a different way, or so to speak. Yes, but you are great. And you have to believe that you are great. So don't let these words, negative words, define your situation. You're better than what people say you are. Nobody's better than you. Please, if there's one thing we could do for this year, is to be more positive. Stop the negative calling. Stop calling people dumb. Stop calling people stupid. Stop calling people ignorant. Stop calling people slow. Stop calling people fools. Why do you have to do that? What are you gaining by that? Do you want anybody to do that to you and your children or your family members? So why are you doing it to other people? The power of life and death is in the tongue. Life is in the tongue. Death is in the tongue. What do you want to use your tongue for? Do you want to use your tongue for death? Or do you want to use your tongue for life. Let's use it for life. And we can do so by being very, very positive in what we do. Thank you for watching the Drexwell Seymour Show. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel.